Being August 27th, 2024, once again, I'm going to ask the question, back row, can you hear me? Bottom, good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Item 2, invocation will be given to us by Councilmember Swan, or any of those wishing to join us for a moment of prayer can do so by voluntarily standing up. Councilwoman.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today and we ask for your many blessings, and we thank you for bringing us together. We ask that you protect our city and protect our city staff. Just be with us daily. And let us get some rain, Lord. The rain would help with all the fires. Be with each and individual council member as we make decisions for our city. I ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
We're going to move on to item 3, discuss response from Rich Fire LLC, fireworks display vendor, ensuring regarding claim filed by Images Inc. located in downtown Odessa. Ms. Griffin.
Hi. Good afternoon, Council, Mayor.
Good afternoon.
I just wanted to share that I stated I would come back before you and provide a status of where we were with negotiating the repair of the roof that was damaged as a result of the fireworks. And we were able to come to an agreement in which they are going to, the fireworks folks are going to, their insurer is going to repair the roof. Sorry, I can't talk today. They will take care of the entire cost. So I just wanted to provide you that update.
Council, any questions other than moving the display?
Yeah.
Right. Ms. Griffin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 4, discuss giving authority to the city manager to write a letter to Ector County agreeing on the annexation of 263 acres in the area of Grandview and Yukon. Mr. Beckmeyer?
We believe that we have worked out with the county a final process to say this is how what we do whenever we annex something. And we have Mr. Lee here today. Specifically, we're talking about his piece of land. There are 263 acres. It will be all residential, and basically I'm just asking for consent to allow me to write a letter to the county commissioners court to say yes, we want to do this. They'll come back then with a resolution, remove it from anything that it needs to be removed from for the county, and then they'll come back with that. You all will pass that. We'll go into the petition phase and then on through the annexation.
Council, any discussion, any questions?
This is the property east of Grandview and Yukon?
It is the property between Grandview and JBS Parkway.
Yeah, that's
And
to the east.
we're doing this.
Want to make sure.
We kind of thought we had already had a process. We don't want to hold Mr. Lee or anyone else. We'll have another one at the next meeting where I'll ask for one for Mr. Bell too. And we just want this process to be smooth and move forward.
Understand. Council, any further questions? We have consensus to move forward and give the authorization to city manager?
Yes.
And y'all look real nice in the yellow shirts tonight. Thank you. I did what I could.
It's a different color, yellow.
We had, I've worn it all day, so I've explained to everybody why we're wearing it. So this is a little bright to be running around town. We were just not as colorful as you, Monica. We all can't pull it off. We're going to move on to item 5, provide an update on status of ongoing and upcoming infrastructure projects, including road, water, sewer improvements in the city of Odessa. Ms. Burns. Uh-oh, we got both of them coming up at it. This is serious.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council.
Good afternoon.
So we felt that it was important that we had an update on the city's infrastructure. Some of are going on currently, and that some are in the future, some in collaboration with TxDOT. And the city infrastructure includes water, sewer, and road projects, which is all very important to the future development and the future growth of the city. And we do have some specifics, and specifically some numbers, some dollar figures that go along with it, which is the most important, I would guess, to make sure that we happen. And additionally to that, we also have Joe and Alex Rowlett to give us specifics if you should have any questions concerning any of the projects. So at this time, I'll have Christina go. You should have this in your packet, and we'll just go through them and spend a little time on it. And if you have any further questions, we have the experts here to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Mayor and Council. As Gopi mentioned, we have provided a list of ongoing as well as future planned projects, infrastructure projects. I'm just going to provide a brief list of everything. So we currently have 7 significant road projects underway. These include signal improvements along Grandview, the reconstruction of Crane, Dorado, Fawdry, and Dixie, intersection improvements at Grandview and Yukon, and the construction of Fawdry north of Yukon. We are also advancing 9 critical water projects, including a citywide valve assessment and water meter replacement initiatives, expansion of the Yukon pump station, valve replacements at the Dawn and JBS towers, water line replacements at Lancaster, Crane, and the intersection of Yukon and Grandview. And we will also be assisting TxDOT in relocating 6 fire hydrants for their I-20 project. In terms of sewer infrastructure, we are focusing on 3 major projects, which include significant improvements at the Darrington Wastewater Treatment Plant, which you've already seen some of those come through, as well as sewer line replacements in Crane and 2nd Street. For our upcoming fiscal year, we have also requested $7.6 million in the budget to reconstruct 23rd and 52nd Streets. As Gopi mentioned, TxDOT is also completing several projects in our city. They are currently working on the rehabilitation of frontage roads on Business 20 from 8th Street to 1788, the repair of concrete and microsurfacing on 2nd Street from Hancock to West County Road, the rehabilitation of Loop 338 from 191 to US 385 North, the construction of a new overpass at Loop 338 and Yukon Road, and the mill and fill rehabilitation on West County Road from 2nd Street to US 385. They have also informed us of several upcoming projects. These include intersection repairs at 42nd Street and Dixie Boulevard, which is scheduled for September of this year. Intersection improvements at US 385 North and 87th Street, which is scheduled for February 2026. The construction of a new interchange at US 385 South and South Loop 338, which is scheduled for May 26. And the rehabilitation of West County Road from Kermit Highway to 2nd Street, which is scheduled for April 26. So while this list is not exhaustive, it highlights the substantial ongoing and planned infrastructure efforts across all council districts within the city. And this represents a total of over $169 million. As Gopi mentioned, Alex and Joe, who are the subject experts on these projects, are available for any questions, and I'm also happy to take them as well.
Boy, that was quick.
It was just high level.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. Joe, I do have a question on the 46 and Walnut Avenue.
Yes, sir.
So, estimated complete. So basically, this is going to go through the 3rd quarter of 25. So right north of there is where it's a catch basin for all the drainage, and then it runs down, and then it makes that left turn into Walnut.
Into Walnut.
And so
yes.
it disperses a lot of the residual dirt and sand right there at that corner house. I know about it because I've been hearing for it since that gentleman moved in there.
Yeah.
And he's a former city employee. His sister worked for HUD, and so this is my question. I think last year somewhere there was a project we were doing, and that was one of the intersections where they redid the sidewalks and the curbs.
We did, yes.
And when they took out all the driveway and everything, they didn't have access to the driveway. Those 2 houses didn't have access to the driveway. It got taken care of.
Yes.
Now, here's my question. If this is going to run through the 3rd quarter of 25, we're going to hit some rain, and that place is going to flood. We're going to be under construction. What adverse effect are they going to have when this thing is under the construction? do we have any idea what we're going to try to mitigate as much as possible? Because it is a gutter. It's a gutter street.
Yes. And we've discussed that with the engineer that's doing the design, that intersection needs some drainage improvements.
Yeah.
It may end up being concrete. I don't have his plans yet. I'm
Okay.
expecting them in a couple weeks. But that is something we've asked him to pay particular attention to.
Once you get that, we really like for you to share it with, and so this is District 3 and 4, to share it with the council, specifically with district members of 3 and 4, so they can be armed with this information, because the flooding gets are pretty, it's not flooding, it's drainage.
It's drainage, but
Yeah.
it drains slowly, and it does have to make that turn there,
Yeah.
which makes it stack up a little bit.
It's a big basin. It captures all of it coming from the north, east, and west. And but everybody mistakes it for flooding. If it was flooding, it would go over the banks and it would sit there, and it does not. And it's a drained basin.
It
So
runs off, it just runs off slowly enough that it does fill with water.
not fast enough for some, and too slow for others.
Exactly.
But if we could, get a little more information that comes through, because I know we're going to need to be armed with a little, because I'm going to get called. We're all going to get calls, and so those calls I'll be directing them to council members 3 and 4 for sure. The Yukon pump station expansion. This is the part of the mitigation that we're doing with the meters, correct?
Yes, sir.
So this cost is going to be paid for with the saving, the additional monies that we're getting from what we're picking up, that 10%.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
This 2 million gallons is going to help us provide gravity flow to the upper plane, is what we understood it?
Yes, sir.
Because right now, we've lowered the pressure in the line to be able to really mitigate the break-in and
Yes,
the
sir.
breakage that we've been
Yes, sir.
suffering. Okay.
And then it's also gonna help, hopefully, when we're able to get the extra tower out east.
Well, this is buying us time till we
Yes.
get there.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The question is this, is that as we wind up continuing into this phase, really like to be able to, if it's possible, to address the issue that we have, especially in the summer. So in the evening, I think after 6 o'clock, there's a part on West County Road between 3rd Street and University, am I correct? I'm looking at you because I know you live down there. This is Rogelio Sarcido, because we have a lowering of pressure in that whole area.
Okay.
And what we found out, it was basically is that as the community gets home and starts washing and watering, things of that nature, this particular area winds up getting lower pressure.
Yes, sir. And that is true. We show it on our Centrix. So
Yes.
we have all of our stuff around the city. I think we've got 13 sites that we have pressure reading sensors on the hydrants, and that area is about 15 psi lower than
Yes.
most of the city.
Okay.
I will say that there's a possibility with the valve assessment that we will be able to raise that psi, especially with some of valves being closed or broken that we don't know about. So if we're able to fix those valves or just go open them, like I said, with this new Hydromax coming in, then that should be able to raise the pressure. Even at the line break that we had yesterday, I found, my team found 2 valves within 100 feet of the line break that were closed for no reason. So we opened them up, everything
they
worked.
operational?
Yes, they were operational. There was
Wow.
no issue with them. We hadn't had any line breaks.
Yeah.
In that area that were connected, or we had a break not too far from there, but it was just 2 that were not in that section. So
If you remember the discussion we had a while back about pressures rising too high and all too fast, we have valves broken closed as well as broken
Yes.
open.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this should
yes, and,
solve some of those
and with this Hydromax, so we just had, they're working with our GIS right now to get everything situated. So when they send us the information, everything collaborates together, and it's more of a copy and paste to our system. But from my talks with them, they are 2 to 3 weeks with boots on the ground. So everything should be compiling over perfectly, and that's what we're working on right now.
So are we building the the infrastructure with their GIS, every time we identify a valve that's either working or not working, we are putting it in our inventory list.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So there is on our GIS system, there is a mark that you can go in and click the box, and it will show you all the broken valves that we have found, and then anything that we can address further when we get the information from Hydromax, that will be incorporated in our GIS. So
Okay.
if we go to a line break, we should be able to click it and see if there's any valves around there that are broken or not until they're
Good.
fixed.
Good. That's all I've got, guys. Anybody else have any questions anyone to address? Open it up to the dais for any questions.
I don't have any questions. I just want to make a statement that I just got an email as I sit on the MPO board. Thursday, August 22nd, the TxDOT approved $104.17 billion for this MPO, and that includes our new overpass at 338 and 87th Street, which has not been on there before. So that is now in queue to get done in 26. So.
Which was a record amount that we've ever had.
Ever had.
Yep.
The rest of it is, and the other one that's important to us is the State Highway 191 at County Road 1250 in Midland, which are operational improvements. So anyway, that's I just want to make sure because that's something that has not, we put it on our priority list, but now it's funded is the point.
I think it's important for Mrs. Burns and to go through this because we talk about all of these projects, y'all approve them, but they're ones and twos here and there. And sometimes we don't realize just how many projects and how much coverage across all the districts that we really have a lot going on.
Yeah, we do.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
For all of you all, I think you all have met Alex. He's our interim right now, and looking for big things. If y'all saw the pictures I sent to you yesterday, that picture after they had pulled that break out of the hole where you had different sized pipes in 4 directions, kind of made me shiver all over.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, we saw that.
that's a lot to
Total
put together. And
total extraction
Of the tees.
extracting the area, the work hole, and then be able to cut and move and then replace total hours.
I would say 6, 7, somewhere around that time frame.
6
And
to
then-
8.
Yeah, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8, somewhere around that time.
And,
Yes, sir. A lot of
Alex is-
measuring went into the back half of that, especially keeping your center where the T intersects.
Yes.
So we had to measure it 2 or 3 times just to make sure we
Yeah.
made the cuts right before, we didn't want to get in, get out, and then have to recut and do it. So we did quite a bit of measuring for about an hour just to make
I was
sure.
wanting to make you aware that Councilmember Mata was there, and he personally went and talked to all the business people that were
Yeah.
being affected there.
Yes.
And surprisingly enough, they were very receptive. And that's the main thing with businesses and residences. As long as they're informed, as long as we get the message out that there's something going on, most of the time they're happy about it. So, thank you for allowing me to do that and for
Absolutely.
notifying all the business owners and stuff. And they were glad that we were able to get it done quickly.
Yeah, we appreciate you showing up too. I know that seeing a face that they're kind of used to, when you guys show up to these breaks, we really appreciate that. So.
Alex, my understanding is that the old line was cast iron, I guess is
Yes,
what they
sir.
call it. What you replaced it with is, what is it? What kind
So it
of?
was PVC, and then it was with Megalug kits that we attached to the PVC. There were some reducers on there, but that's made with all new equipment. So everything had a Megalug kit on it, that's all of our best technology, new stuff. So
What was the age of the line? Do we know?
ooh, I could look it up for you. I'm not sure. I think the last time.
Cast iron?
Do you remember? I don't
Older
know.
than you are.
I would at
Thankful
least
for that.
I would say probably 60s, and it was
Especially in that
broke
area
on
of
it was
town.
broke
Oh,
on the
yeah.
re-
About
yeah
60 years old.
it was broke on the reducer that was coming off of it. But the way that they did it back in the day, it's pretty much metal on metal, cast iron on cast iron
Yeah,
reducer. So
yeah.
we couldn't take the reducer off of the T to reuse that T,
Yeah.
which at that point we didn't want to reuse that T, so we put in all new equipment. So
Thank you.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're dealing with
Thank you.
antiquities.
Yes, we are.
Any further questions, council? All right. Seeing that there is no more business for this council, I will take a motion to adjourn
So moved.
by Councilmember Swanner, second by
Second.
Councilmember Vasquez. All in favor indicating by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed indicating the same sign. Motion passed unanimously. We are adjourned. So we will
there's-
see you at 6 o'clock.
There's a couple new police cars and a new garbage